You ever stay in a place that's already dead? A job, a relationship, a dream, telling yourself, maybe it'll get better. Yeah, you wanted to fix it, but you didn't know how. Truth is, when it's dying, you can feel it. You're just terrified to walk away. Joe did the same thing. He didn't know when to quit, and now he lives with the regret. If you don't want to end up like that, listen to his story. Joe worked with his dad in a small furniture workshop. They built tables, cabinets, doors, whatever people ordered. It wasn't fancy work, but it was honest. Joe liked it, the feeling of making something with his own hands. He used to dream about owning his own workshop one day, a place where he could build things his way. But his dad didn't think he had enough experience yet. One day, they had an argument. His dad said, "You think you can run a business? You can't even fix that table right." Joe was mad, but he didn't yell. He just nodded, went quiet. That night, he couldn't sleep. He thought, I'll prove him wrong. So he quit the workshop, left the sawdust, the wood, the smell of something real, for a job that paid better, but not enough to open his own workshop. He told everyone it was time to move on. Truth is, he just wanted to win that argument. But the funny thing about pride, it'll make you stay in the wrong place for years, just to prove a point nobody's keeping score of. The new job looked good on paper. Clean office, nice building, people calling each other sir. Joe thought, yeah, this is what success looks like. But after a few weeks, it started to feel off. Every day was the same screen, same fake smile, same small talk. No smell of wood, no sound of hammer or saw, just clicking keys and bad coffee. His boss thought yelling meant leadership. If you made a mistake, he'd humiliate you in front of everyone. Joe hated it. But he stayed. He told himself, it's temporary. I'm saving up for my own workshop. Months turned into years, and every day that dream got quieter. He stopped building things, stopped sketching designs, even stopped talking about his plans. The job paid the bills, but it drained something money couldn't refill. Every time his boss barked at him, he wanted to walk away. But that old voice came back. You think you can run a business? You can't even fix that table right. So he stayed, to prove he could handle it, to prove he wasn't weak. But the truth is, staying was the worst thing he ever did. It all came apart slowly, piece by piece. He started waking up late, stopped caring if he got to work on time. He'd sit in his car for 10 minutes before walking in. The job wasn't even the worst part anymore. It was the silence when he came home. Everything just kept getting worse. One night, after another pointless fight, his girlfriend walked out, slammed the door, screaming. Joe was too tired to chase her. He stopped caring about anything, lost in his thoughts. What did I do wrong? He didn't go to work the next day, didn't answer calls. He just sat there, desperate, thinking about all the things he stayed for, the job, the relationship, the pride. All gone now. Then he remembered his dad saying, a real craftsman knows when to fix a piece and when to start fresh. Then one morning he just got up and drove to the old workshop. His dad was there, same stool, same tools, same smell of sawdust. Joe didn't say much, just picked up a piece of wood and started sanding. When his dad saw him, he smiled and understood. They didn't talk about what happened. Sometimes silence fixes more than words. Day by day, Joe got his rhythm back. The sound of the saw, the weight of the wood. It felt real again, like breathing after being underwater for too long. Months later, his dad helped him rent a small place across town, a tiny workshop with uneven floors and bad lighting. But it was his. He built the first table himself, not to sell, just to remind himself that's all he wanted. This time, he was happy and humble. He was just building something that felt right. Sometimes you stay too long. Sometimes it's pride. Sometimes it's fear. Or maybe something else. I know that feeling. I lived it. I stayed in a job that made me numb. I stayed in a relationship that broke me. I stayed too long, trying to prove a stupid point. Then I remembered something my dad used to say in the workshop. A real craftsman knows when to fix a piece and when to start fresh. It took me years to understand that. Walking away isn't giving up. It's choosing yourself. It's choosing peace. So if you're sitting there wondering whether to stay, ask yourself, am I fixing something worth fixing or just afraid to start over? Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is pick up the wood and start fresh.